What's up, people? It's your man Urban Lover coming from your mama's basement. I want to talk about that game real quick about the Lakers playing the Portland Trail Blazers, and I also want to touch a little bit more on the Magic Johnson situation. And like I said, I still gonna make that video because I'm listening to the media and everybody trying to give their synopsis of what happened. You know, they're giving all these excuses, stuff like that with Magic Johnson. The biggest thing is that him and Jeanie Buss just had a disagreement when it came to Luke Walton. That's simply put. 3 hours, him and Jeanie sitting there discussing the team and the direction they're going. It all came down to Luke Walton. That's simply, ain't no other things around it. We can talk about all the little things that Magic Johnson said at the press conference. At the end of the day, you have to understand and realize it. He talking about, that it hurts him to get rid of Luke. No, he already wanted to fire Luke from the day one. I told you guys that in many of my videos. Magic Johnson wanted to get rid of Luke. I've been telling y'all guys that. It's just that Jeanie Buss probably broke down crying in front of Magic, and that's probably what made him, start to rethink about, should I be in this position? That's what came down, because nothing against Jeanie Buss, but one thing about women, if y'all don't really understand, one of the things about a woman and her traits is she's very emotional. So if something that's close to her is taken away, she's going to feel a certain way because she got compassion for it. That's the reason why it was best that Jeanie Buss stayed back and let Magic Johnson do their thing. But Luke Walton was a big part of Jeanie Buss, so that's what it was. It wasn't nothing else. Everything else that Magic Johnson said or anything these media outlets are saying, all that's just basically harsh, whatever. It was basically Jeanie Buss and Luke Walton. And when I drop the video, y'all gonna understand why I came to this conclusion, which most of y'all should have anyway. But I'm gonna explain to you guys why all of it led up to this. Magic Johnson stepping down. Now, the Lakers, they play the Portland Trail Blazers, and I know everybody's saying that, Urban, the guys are playing good because they're playing for contracts, they're playing for roster spots. All that's true, and I will not deny that. But let's be honest. These G Leaguers came in there and they showed that they are NBA potential type players. They play the Portland Trail Blazers. The Portland Trail Blazers were not trying to lose this game. The same thing with the Utah Jazz or any other team. They're not trying to lose these games, especially if they got position and opportunities to move up in the ranking with 1 or 2 games in the playoff. I don't know where Portland was. Portland, I think they're number 3 or something like that. Or probably number 4. Probably number 3 or number 4. But anyway, the Lakers play freaking good. Good freaking ball movement. I got to get my hat off to Luke Walton. I know I'll be beating Luke Walton up. I told y'all, I think probably a video a while back, I said Luke Walton is only at his best when he got a depleted roster. That's the only time he's at his best. Because with a depleted roster, he don't have to worry about all the crazy rotations that he bring in. He can work the players how he want to work them, run the offense like he want to run it, and don't got to worry about distractions. Which meaning is that he's much better when he work with a smaller rotation. And I told y'all guys that last year. I said Luke Walton need to cut that freaking hockey rotation out and go no more than 3 to 4 guys coming off the bench. After the All-Star break, the beginning of the season. You start off, you play around, see what you got, see what mesh together, what rotation works together and stuff like that. And then once you start getting down to the crunch time, you start cutting back on some of these guys' playing time. And that's what you're supposed to do. The guys that are hungry, that you need them, you bring them in. Guys that play pretty good defense, you need them to stop a certain individual on the opposite team, you put them in. That's how you play good strategy basketball. Ain't up a chess game. That's why you got these elite coaches, and then you got these subpar averages coaches, and you got the other coaches in the middle of the pack. But I know everybody's still waiting for Luke Walton to get fired. Me personally, I don't think he'll get fired. Based on these last 11 games and the way they played with a bunch of G Leaguers, I think that Jeanie Buss and her circle probably say, you know what, we can get a lot out of Luke Walton. And I told y'all before in my last video, if LeBron James is still here, then out of all them coaches they decided, think about, then yeah, I would stay with Luke Walton. But if LeBron James, if they trade LeBron James, Luke Walton has to go. He cannot, I repeat, he cannot develop these young players. He's going to be a stumbling block to him. Because you got to think about it. If Luke Walton stays and LeBron James go, right, and Luke Walton stays, that means Luke Walton has pure control of the team. So what that mean? He's going to crap on some of them players. I'm just going to call it as it is. I know a lot of them are talking real highly about, Walton, a.k.a. Kuzma, the main one who shouldn't really be talking high about him. He said that Walton let him be what he wants. But every time you hear him in a press conference, like I said before, Luke Walton will always, he'll come with a good spot, but then he always have a but behind every time he talk about Kuzma. When he talk about Brandon Ingram, nothing but positive. But when it comes to Kuzma, oh yeah, you got to work on his defense. He got to move his feet a little bit, got to rebound and this and that. But you know what I'm saying about Brandon Ingram. And that's my biggest problem with Luke Walton. You know, but I know a lot of these players just saying that because why they want to be on LA. They don't want to leave. And they see Magic Johnson gone, so they probably know what's going on. Semi, not so much, but they probably figure like, you know, Lou won't be here another year, so let me go ahead and, you know, hold on to his shoes because I don't want to get kicked out. You know, I want to be in that rotation. But anyway, look, they played good. Portland played pretty good too. Cantier, you know, he's filling in for the spot that was left from, I forgot that the center got hurt. The center got hurt, but anyway, he's feeling pretty good because Cantier can score. He's offensive, you know, a pretty good offensive player down low. Kind of subpar, you know, subpar on defense, but he played pretty good. Look, at the end of the day, he gave him 16 boards, 22 points, and he was like, the guy like a power forward because he was leaving JaVale McGee. You know, get a whole bunch of low post moves, getting away from JaVale. A couple bad rotation pickups, but he looked pretty good. Heartless, you know what he did, man. I don't even want to talk about him. Lillard and McCullough, they really didn't do too much. They didn't really take too many shots besides 3-pointers with Damian Lillard, but at the beginning they were struggling. They started picking it up towards the end, but pretty good defense from Caruso and KCP. And I know y'all hate KCP, man. I know y'all like he always do it at the end of the season. What happened to him? I keep telling you guys, man. If you got 6 guards in your rotation, it's hard to get going, especially if you got a shooter who gets into a streak of missing a lot of shots, and you're only getting like 20-something minutes. You're not going to get going. It's the same thing I said about the starters when Luke Walton first came here. Same thing with Byron Scott. When your starters are getting 25 minutes, it's not enough time to get going. Especially when you got somebody that's ball dominant who choose to look for other players. And I'm not saying they always don't look for KCP, but they choose to look for players that benefit their role and how they decide to run their offense. So in retrospect to that, KCP is always out of the loop. He had 3 bad games. What happened? The fan base said, let's get rid of him, sit him on the bench. I even said it myself, put him on the bench because he's struggling, let Josh Hart start. But when Josh Hart was struggling, I said the same thing. You got to put Josh Hart on the bench, bring KCP back in. But, you know, I digress on that. But anyway, they played pretty good, man. You can't knock them for what they did. Seth Curry, man, you know, dude was nice off the bench, man. 19 points off the bench. But going to our Lakers, man. Muscala, I think it's the second game, but he pretty good. You know, showing that he still want to be a Laker. I got to get a man credit where credit's due. See, when you get playing time, you start to gel. I've been telling people over and over again, you cannot determine a player within 15, 20 minutes. You got some players, a very small few of them, that can light it up in 15, 20 minutes and take that little bit of time and do whatever they got to do in order to help the team, whether it's defense or offense. But then you got some players who just take a little bit more time to get comfortable with the offense, the flow of the game, in order to get going. Muscala played pretty good. Jones, a freaking rebound fanatic. And I'm sitting there thinking, this guy's 6'9", this guy only 6'5". Jeez, man. 2 blocks. Pretty good defensive player, man. You already know with JaVale McGee, what you getting from him. He didn't really take that many shots, but he only played 19 minutes. He had 4 rebounds. He still, you know, had a block and 11 points, which is still good. I mean, because he let Williams get a lot of minutes in there. Matter of fact, McGee fouled it. McGee was in foul trouble. That's what I forgot. He was in foul. Can't tell you, just like I said, a lot of things just happening on with McGee, but one of the fouls that wasn't a foul, man. I don't care what nobody say. What was that? I think that was Heartless that was coming in for that dunk, and McGee, but that was a clear block, man. But they called a foul on it. But it is what it is, man. That block right there, that foul is what determined Portland win. I don't care what nobody say. If they'd have called that a block, Portland would have won this game. They would have won this game. But it is what it is, man. You know, I don't like to ride on it, but it is. Alex Caruso, another good, strong game. You know, 13 assists, 7 rebounds, 2 in the offensive. He had 1 steal, 1 block, but he did 7 turnovers, though. 12 points, but one thing about I like him, he's a grabby little defender, man. He tries his best to play defense, and I got to respect that. At least he's trying. Williams had another good game. Couple nice big dunks, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 12 points off the bench. Wagner, couple good plays here and there, you know, once he started getting it going. But they had a lot of turnovers, too, so that was their biggest downfall was really a turnover. Not that many, but 17 is a lot, you know, especially when you're running with 8-man crew. But you gotta remember, these guys probably tired too because the bench was kind of, you know, it's kind of like, you know, it is what it is. But like I said, all that stuff, man, no buying to none of that stuff they saying. Magic Johnson just saying whatever he can to save face. I call Magic Johnson. Listen, I would call it like it is. What Magic Johnson did to me was a sucker move. I don't care. You sold us a freaking bullcrap dream. You told us you're going to do all these things. And because of certain situations didn't happen, you choose to get up out of there. Because you didn't want to be the one to foul Luke Walton. And listen, if Jeanie Buss wanted here another year, then go ahead. But I know that that's not what LeBron James wanted. That's the reason why you stepped down. Because if Jeanie Buss said, look, let's get Luke 1 more year. If that wasn't LeBron James here, you probably say, all right, we'll go ahead and rock with him 1 more year. But because you got LeBron James and LeBron James can't want Luke Walton gone, you know, that's according to what they said a couple months ago. Then the reality of it, Magic Johnson, you know what? I can't do it. I'm gonna get out the mix of it. I'm gonna just go ahead and leave it alone. So, and that's what it is, man. That's what it come down to. It come down to the point that Luke Walton, you know, Magic Johnson didn't want to hurt Jeanie Buss feelings. That's all it came down to. With that being said, it's your man Urban Lover. Like, share, subscribe, get in the comment section. Tell me what you guys think about this season going forward. What you think about the G League players, man? Do you think they should get roster spots? What do you think about Magic Johnson just straight up doing a sucker move on us, man? Treating us the way they did. I know a lot of people already commented on that in the last video, but I'm gonna keep talking about because you know I personally used to idolize Magic Johnson. And when Magic Johnson did that, this is like another blow to me once again because I still have faith in Magic. I have faith in him. Not as faith as like, you know, somebody I worship, because I don't worship it for those understand me. But listen, at the end of the day, he's still a man. And, you know, and one thing about it, which he should already know, is that when you took this position, you knew what was going to come with this position. So don't start crying down. And my thing is that at the end of the day, I feel like, you know, you claim Jeanie Buss was your sister, but yet you go to the media and express how you feel instead of going to your sister. This is what I'm talking about, in-house bull crap. This is why I say Magic Johnson, I said in my videos a while back, Magic Johnson's biggest problem is that he's too much in the spotlight. He talks too much. Instead of going to Jeanie Buss, he goes to the media. Listen, a real man, I'm going to tell you this, a real man of value and of virtue does not do bull crap like that. He's going to go to the woman or whoever it may be and tell them to their face how he truly feel. Like, you know what, because we can't come to an agreement, I'm going to do you the favor to step on down. Instead, you go to the media and let the media, you know, they're found out through the media. But you call her your sister. Get the freak out of here, man. I'm telling you, we should have went with Jerry West. Like I said, Jeanie Buss should have listened to whoever was talking to in the ear, got Jerry West, picked up DeMarcus Cousins, you know, and just rolled with it, man. Straight up. But it is what it is. I digress. You know, the season is over. Let's see what happens July the 1st. I'm going to drop a couple videos. Basically, what I'm going to do now, I'll probably drop some videos. I still got to drop the video about the season. My thought of what happened to the season. I'm going to drop a couple more videos throughout the months. Also, I'm going to start listening to ESPN, and I'm going to dissect a lot of stuff they bring out because, you know, they're going to be still talking heavy about Magic and LeBron. So I'm going to dissect this stuff to let you guys know how the media operates so I can break it down to let you know that these guys really don't watch videos. All right? Because they still saying the young players are trash. Basically, they might say they're not strong and all that. AKA, they're just saying the young players are trash. So I'm hoping the young players that we keep them, maintain them so they come out balling next season, and all these fakers and all these bull crappers who didn't believe in them gonna be like, damn, don't say it now because we don't need y'all. Take y'all tails back in the grass and hide like snakes that you are. That's what y'all do. Anyway, take care. It's your man Urban. You know what it is.